Why hello there, my lovely Lego addicts, and welcome to a video where I want to discuss some thoughts. I know this is dangerous, this is the internet, who knows what will go wrong, but I obviously started the Lego hobby because of the Harry Potter sets and my love for the Harry Potter Lego theme, and I really haven't been super inspired or enthused by the theme for quite a little while. And I haven't really addressed it very much, but I also don't really know why this is. And I just want to have a little chat about it with you guys because I know some of you are here because of the Harry Potter and I've been terrible at doing anything Harry Potter related recently. So basically the decline of my interest in the Harry Potter theme kind of started the wave after the new style Hogwarts stuff came out. The year of the 25th anniversary sets actually was kind of exciting to me originally. I really enjoyed the new style Chamber of Secrets. I thought it was really nice. I really liked all the figures that we were getting. I really liked the anniversary figures, the gold ones. I thought that was a really nice theme with good figures, really nice new details, some good stickers, and yeah, I was really excited to start with. But then after the new sets came out, the round after that, which are similar modular style Hogwarts expansions, I just started to kind of go, I've never been super interested in recreating a playset's version of Hogwarts that looks like Hogwarts, similarly to that one. I really thought with these new style Hogwarts modular things that you could stack, that really what I could do is do kind of like a display of just all these interior rooms. And I definitely gave that a go to start with because I really kind of like the detail. I made like an Umbridge classroom, I made a common room, but really quickly I started to kind of feel a bit uninspired by things. The books were an interesting way of getting like decorative items and some good figures, but also they were quite expensive for the stuff that I actually used from them because the book covers I never did anything with. Quite quickly on I was like, I don't know, I'm not super inspired, but I didn't quite know what was causing that. So I left my Hogwarts sort of like unloved, all my modular things at the bottom of my display cabinet, and I just kind of didn't do anything with it for ages. And then basically as time went on, I did still buy some of the Harry Potter sets, but I wasn't as excited about them, so I didn't buy them like day one, or I wasn't really like, whoa, I need to have these. I only was like, oh yeah, I guess I'll pick them up, because I kind of felt obliged in a weird way. So I picked them up at discounts, and then really, I don't know, various months ago, I was like, I really don't feel like I want to collect those new Hogwarts modular things, but annoyingly I then also was like, I kind of really want to own every single Harry Potter figures that came out since 2018, so I have a full collection of all the different figures, because that seemed kind of fun to me, and especially because I have like a display cabinet. I was like, if I make a really big display in there, I have them all stacked. I have like every single version of Harry, every single version of Ron, which meant that if I wanted to sell or not do anything with the Hogwarts modulars, I still had to sell them without the figures, so they're not really worth very much without the figures. So I ended up breaking down quite a few of them, just not really knowing what to do with them. There is a lot of repetition of parts in those modular building things, so I ended up just with a lot of 8x8 like base plates that aren't actually base plates, and those arches, and I think I realised that the reason I wasn't super interested in mocking any of these modulars is because the size they'd chosen to make these modular Hogwarts rooms was just a tiny bit too small to actually do a really nicely detailed mock. And if I wanted to make them bigger, an easy option would have been to go with a 16x16 base plate instead, so kind of double the room and you have a bit more depth to add stuff. But then also I was like, I still am not inspired enough or have any interest in it. I obviously have a huge love for my city and I've been doing lots of work in the city, and the Hogwarts stuff just kind of fell a bit flat, and I've kind of not been talking about it for a while because I kept kind of waiting for new sets to come out that kind of got me kind of excited again, and actually that's not really happened. Obviously, like, since I stopped losing interest a little bit, we've had like the really big Hogwarts Express, and yeah, it looked awesome, and currently it's in my living room because my friend's train is literally still in my house, and it's really pretty, but also it's pretty expensive, and I would like the figures with it, but that's kind of it. I don't really think I need the train. And then with this new coming wave coming out, I'm still a little bit like, oh, I don't really know now. I owned the original Hogwarts Express that came out, I think 2019 if I'm correct, maybe 2018. And I liked it, but I broke it down because there was no room for it. I had it in my city for a little while. And now I've seen a new Hogsmeade station one. I'm like, I'm happy to have done a Hogsmeade station. It's very nice. I also think it's really cool that we're getting a playset style train with 2 carriages, and I may actually purchase that set just because I think it'd be kind of cool to have the train in my city if I ever have room, because it's a very iconic train. I also have the night bus in my city, so I feel like using some of those things in my city would be kind of cool. I could have like a small station. I'm still a little bit like, oh, okay, not hugely excited by this. We obviously seen the Battle of Hogwarts, so what I am really appreciating is that we're getting some good figures, but it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because it's nice that we're getting really good figures, but also I feel like because I want the figures, I don't in some way need to purchase these sets to get the figures for my collection, which sort of like a bit becomes expensive, basically. I was hoping that after we've seen some of those books, they would kind of move away from the idea, because I found like £28–30 for like those books quite a lot, and now we're getting banners instead, and again there is a lot of parts there that I wouldn't really use, but there's kind of nice figures in them, so it's kind of again that sort of thing of I feel obliged to buy them. I think what's kind of contributing to my sort of like waning love for the theme is the fact that I feel like I want bits of sets, but I don't want to spend the full amount to get them, because it's just not useful to me. Obviously I have a very small room, and though I'm moving into a bigger one soon, it's not like I have infinite room, and I really like to be very thoughtful of what I buy. I don't just want to buy something for like 3 figures, because that feels a little bit wasteful to me, especially because like that sort of expendable income isn't really like, I don't know. Yes, I could technically afford to buy a £30 set, but it doesn't really feel nice to buy a £30 set just because you want 3 figures. That's like £10 a figure, you know, that makes it really expensive. Though some of the sets have been really interesting and I can see what they go for, I really feel like they're suffering from the fact that they have to be play sets. That opinion's obviously because I'm an adult collector and I want certain things from my sets and not the play side of things. I think that's kind of a conflict that Harry Potter sets really suffer from, especially just because they're quite big settings, and distilling them down to play sets aimed at children is quite difficult. And I feel like they have obviously been trying to walk that line between having the playset be children's size and appropriate for children, but also having some good figures for the adult collectors. And that's kind of like, yay, you tried, but also I'm still not really interested. Like the Ministry of Magic, I never thought we were going to see the Ministry of Magic, but annoyingly, like the set felt not like, it didn't blow me away. I really wish it bigger and more grand, but then the figures are really great and like beautiful, and there are some really fun little details there. So I really feel like the team are kind of caught between this sort of conflicting interest that they're both trying to please, and I don't know how kids appreciate the Harry Potter sets. I can't judge for them, but I feel like for the adults it's kind of missing the mark a little bit. But I feel like most people I've spoken to about the Harry Potter sets have agreed that the figures have been really good, so there's stuff there, but also a lot of money to buy sets that you don't really want to use. This wave, obviously we're getting that final dual like courtyard set that is still that modular style Hogwarts idea, but we've also seen a leaked layout of how you could actually attach all of these modular style Hogwarts pieces to make it look like Hogwarts. And for some people they've gone, that's really exciting, actually it's really nice to see how you can connect them and that they've thought about this. But to me, I'm still like, well, the original appeal for the modular style Hogwarts things was just because you could see all the interiors. I'd rather have the old style if I want to make it look like Hogwarts. I'd rather have it be sort of more dollhouse like for these new styles, if that's what you want to go for. It looks good. My friend Ulrika has actually done a really nice job of laying them out the way that that layout is done. It looks interesting. It's definitely way more Hogwartsy at least, but I don't feel like for me it's enough to save my interest in that. I'm obviously still waiting to hear what's happening with the D2Cs this year. I mean, there's been rumours, let's be honest. There's been plenty of rumours about Gringotts and whatever, but I'm also sort of worried that like the rumours about Gringotts make it sound like it's a standalone building more than an attachment to the Diagon Alley. And actually the most excited I've been about any Harry Potter Lego set ever has been this Diagon Alley, because, I mean, for me, as you know me, it's obviously a combination of everything I love, which is mostly buildings, magic, and Harry Potter figures. So it was kind of perfect, and I've been hoping for an extension to the set for a really long time. And very excitingly, because in this room I had no place to expand it, but in the next room I will have way more space to have a much longer street, and I was really hoping that I could make a really long Diagon Alley there. However, this rumoured Gringotts doesn't necessarily sound like it's going to connect, and I also don't know if I'm ever going to like a Gringotts that sits in this scale, because it's quite limiting. The playsets, again, as I say, this year have just kind of left me pretty underwhelmed. There is objectively, I'm like, they look good, but I don't feel inclined to spend my money on them, is to what I'm trying to say. I think the Expecto Patronum set looks like a really interesting build. Like, it's a very interesting design, but I don't really feel like I need that, basically. Which I feel mean of saying, because I can tell there's, like, obviously skill in designing that and how that's been put together. I just don't feel like I want to spend my money on it, especially for what it goes for. Especially because the colour it uses is also super specific to that set. Like, you can't really just build it, have fun, and then break it down and use the parts elsewhere. But again, I want the figures because that's just the curse I'm under. I don't know, I've just been really just about everything. I'm really genuinely hoping that whatever D2C we're getting this year is really going to revitalise my interest in it and kind of hopefully allow me to, yeah, just get excited again. I'm also really excited to move into my new room because I'll have a few more extra places where I can actually maybe start my own dioramas. I'm hoping to have a better Hogsmeade space so I can actually make a Hogsmeade mock better, because at the moment, I don't think you can see, it's on top of this Billy bookcase because it was in my Calyx, but I ran out of room there. And I've just been meaning to change it for ages, but then because I knew I was moving, I was like, do you know what, I'll just redo it for the new room, because I do actually really love the Hogsmeade sets. I think they're cute. I'd like to make them a bit bigger maybe, but at the moment I'm not super in a rush for that. I have quite big plans for my Diagon Alley diorama because I think there's quite a lot of possibilities there, and I'm quite excited to give it a bit of new lease of life there. I just really wanted to chat to you guys about it because I feel like I really should address it at this point. I've really not done anything Harry Potter for ages. I'm just a bit stuck with it, you know, and I feel silly for saying that because there's so many really cool things I could have done, but I just feel a bit like, I don't know, I'm just waiting for that spark of excitement that, like, for example, seeing all the Dream set really sparked in me. How are you guys feeling about the new sets? What are you missing? What is really working for you? What is not working for you? Obviously, let's all keep it polite because whomever is in charge of designing these Lego sets at Lego obviously has so many reasons to do things that they are doing, and they obviously have to please so many different people and so many different interests. So absolutely no hate to the designers or anything, but I still think it's really interesting to chat about it and see how you guys are feeling, because we're obviously a niche of the Lego Appreciation Club, so we obviously have our own opinions and we're very much entitled to them. So yeah, let me know what you think. Obviously, once I move into that room, which hopefully is not too long away now, it's feeling like a little long time. I've got so many ideas and my head is nearly bursting, but I'm still waiting to move. I just hope that a little bit of interest in at least mocking Harry Potter stuff will come back. I think it will. And then we can kind of rejoice in the love for Harry Potter again. But yeah, I think I'm going to just focus on collecting the figures for now, which sounds like expensive thing to do. And I'll see you very soon in the next video, guys. Goodbye! Howdo! Just starting work of categorization for all my Harry Potter figures, and also the ones in there. And wherever else I stowed them, unsure. There's a cat in this play cabinet. Computer, turn on the lights.
Okay.
Mary, really? Oh my goodness. Really? That's...